Hi. I'm Horatius Cocles. These are my minions.
Spurius Larsus, Titus Herminius.
You see, the Tarquins fled to the king of Clusium, Porsenna. They wanted revenge. Porsenna agreed, thinking it would be good for the Etruscans. So he and his army headed for Rome.
When the enemies arrived, every man ran into the city to protect it. Some ran to the walls and some tried to run to protect the bridge, which let the enemies across. It was because of Horatius Cocles over here that the enemies were unable to get across.
I had seen Janiculum being taken by an attack and the whole crowd dropped their weapons and fled, ignoring the bridge they were supposed to be destroying. I was worried. More of the enemies could end up in the Palatine or the Capitolum than the Janiculum.
We were awesome. Me and Herminius stayed behind to help Cocles out with destroying the bridge, but then after we had destroyed a small part of the bridge, Cocles told us to run and hide in a safe place.
I then provoked the enemies, and shame caused them to get up and battle. With a shout, they threw their weapons which bounced off a shield.
Cocles, being really cool, guarded the bridge with his wide stance.
We were starting to dislodge men by force.
Suddenly we heard the crack of the depleted bridge and the shouts of the happy Romans. Cocles prayed to the gods of the Tiber before leaping into the river. He was then able to swim across with weapons, and uninjured. The state was so grateful to him that they built a statue for him.
So Porsenna was a failure. With the Janiculum protected, he put camps in the banks of the Tiber and had ships there for protection and to make sure that no grain could be transported to Rome and so that the military could cross the river to get to different places.
And the siege just kept going. The price of grain was astronomical. Then came Gaius Mucius. He really wanted to avenge Rome by a daring deed. First, he decided to enter the enemy's camps. And, because these orders were not being issued by the council, and were not known by all, he was scared he would be arrested by the Roman guards. He eventually came to the Senate, asking to cross the Tiber and to enter the camps of the enemy, not as a robber nor an avenger. They granted his request. Then Mucius set out with a sword hidden in his clothing. He arrived at a crowd near the tribunal of the king. There was a scribe sitting with the king, wearing nearly the same clothing, who seemed pretty important. Mucius ended up killing the scribe instead of the king. He then walked away from there and a crowd, frightened by his bloody sword, let him through. The attendants of the king then dragged him back to the tribune of the king. His words went something like this:
I am a Roman, a citizen. They call me Gaius Mucius. As an enemy, I wanted to kill an enemy, nor am I less prepared to death than I am to kill. It is both to make and to suffer greatly. And I, as one, did not perform these spirits unto you. A long order of men after me is seeking the same honor. Therefore for this hazard, if it helps, arm yourself to fight for your life from hour to hour, to have an armed enemy in the vestibule of the palace. We, the young Roman men, declare this war against you. Do not fear the battle line or the battle. The affair will be between you alone and one by one.
I want fires put around here. I want you to understand how cheap the body is.
Okay.
When Mucius stuck his hand into the fire, he became devoid of all sensation. What is this? Stop this at once. You are very daring towards yourself than towards me. I am honoring you for your courage. Now I will let you go uninjured and unhurt. The name Scevoli was given to the man who destroyed his right hand.